Today we will discuss the structured query language or the SQL. Now basically SQL consists of the queries which are useful in retrieving information from the database. Basically, SQL queries or SQL commands is a non-procedural language, and SQL or a structured query language is a non-procedural language which basically looks at how the which basically focuses on what data or what information has to be retrieved instead of how that information will be retrieved. So I can say SQL is a non-procedural language aiming at what data will be or what information will be retrieved and now, and not how that information or that data will be retrieved. Apart from creating the database or accessing the database, it also is used for modifying the data of the database. Now basically the SQL language consists of three different types of commands. It can be divided into DDL, DML and the DCL. DDL stands for the data definition language commands. The DDL commands are the data definition language commands. Then we have the DML commands, which are known as the data manipulation commands. And then we have the DCL commands, which are known as the data control commands. So today we will study the DDL commands. Now what does DDL stand for? DDL basically stands for data definition language. So a DDL command means DDL means data definition languages. So it is basically used to define the data and the data and its structure within a database. Now we have 5 different types of DDL commands. The first is the create command. The other one is the drop command. We have the alter command. We have the rename command. And we have the truncate commands. So these are the 5 DDL commands that we will be studying: the create DDL command, the drop, the alter, the rename and the truncate command. To begin with, we will see the create command. The create command is used for creating the data inside the database. So the syntax of the create command is create table name, opening braces, then we have what column name we want. Column name 1, its data type. Column name 2, its data type, and so on till the nth column with its data type. We close it with a closing brace and a semicolon. So this is the basic structure of the create command or the syntax of a create command. You give the keyword create. Then you mention what do you want to create. You want to create a table. What would be that table's name? Then within that table, what would be the columns which all represent the attributes. The columns basically represents the attributes. So what would be those column names or the names of the attributes? Column first attribute, its data type. Second attributes, it its data type, and so on till the nth attribute depending upon the number of attributes you are having. Its data type, and then you close with a closing parenthesis and semicolon. So this is the syntax for the create command. Now we will see an example of the same. Create table employee, column name employee ID, its data type int, then column name employee address, its data type char 25, column name employee age, its data type int, then column name phone number, its data type varchar 20, and then closing parenthesis and a semicolon. Now here I want to create a table which is named employee. So what will I do? I'll give the keyword create. I will specify what I want to create. I want to create a table over here. What is the name of that table? That table's name is employee. Now what are the attributes that I want to have inside this table? The first attribute is the employee ID, and its data type is int, which represents integer values. Then the second attribute is employee address. Its data type is char, and the maximum limit is 25. Char represents the character data types, and I say that the address cannot be more than 25 characters. Then the third attribute is the age of the employee, which is again an integer value. Phone number is another attribute which is having the data type varchar, and its maximum limit is 20. That is no more than 20 words in the phone number attribute, and varchar stands for both the numeric as well as alphabetic variables, that is alphanumeric variables. So when I want to store only integer values, I use the data type int. For character values, I use the data type char, and when I want to save alphanumeric, that is which contain both alphabets and numeric values, then I use the data type varchar. So this is an example of how I have created a table named employee having attributes employee ID, employee address, age and phone number. Next we will see drop command. Drop command is basically used to delete the database or its objects, the entire database objects. When we want to delete them, we use the drop command. The difference between the drop command and the delete command is that the delete command is used for deleting only specific records, whereas the drop command is used for deleting the entire database objects, which may be the table or the database itself. The syntax is drop table name, or drop database, the database name, and a closing and a semicolon. So when I want to delete an entire table or the entire database, in that case I use the drop command. So the keyword drop, what do I want to delete? Table. What is the name of that table? And a semicolon. Similarly, if I want to delete the entire database, the keyword drop. What do I want to drop? Database. So what is the name of that database? That specific name. Example we will see, just like using the create command, we created a table employee. So I will say, if I want to delete entire table, I will say drop table. What is the name of that table? Employee, and a colon. So this way I will delete the entire table employee. Similarly, if I want to delete the entire database, what I will say? Drop database. What is the name of the database? Say for example, I have created a database with the name XYZ. It will delete that particular database XYZ. Now the third command within the DDL statement commands is the alter command. The alter command is basically used to modify or alter the structure of the database and its objects. Apart from that, it helps in creating new columns within the database. It helps in deleting the existing columns from the database, and it also helps in changing the data types of the columns that exist in the database. Say for example, alter, I want to add a specific column to a table in my database. I will say alter. What do I want to alter? Table. What is the name of that table? Employee. First of all, I will show you the syntax and then I will give you an example here. The syntax is that alter keyword. What do I want to alter? Table. Then mention table. Name of the table. That is the table name. So this. Now what do I want to do within the alter command? I want to add a new column. So I will give the column name and I will mention its data type and end it with a semicolon. So if I want to add a new column or a new attribute to the table, what I will do, I will give the keyword alter. Now what do I want to alter? The table. What is the name of that table? Here I will give it. What do I want to do in the alter command? I want to add a new column or a new attribute. So what is the name of that column? I will specify, and what would be the data type of that particular column? That also I will specify. The example is alter table. I want to alter a table. What is the name of that table? Employee. I want to alter the table employee. What do I want to do? What alteration do I want to do? I want to add a new column. I will say add. What is the name of that column? I want to add the employee name whose data type is character, and I do not want more than 25 characters. So this is how I will specify alter table employee, add employee name, data type character, 25 is the maximum limit. So this is one such example of the alter command. Now for example, I want to change the name of an existing column to some other name. What I will do is that again the syntax for this is alter table name. I will specify the name of that table. Then what do I want to do? I want to change the column name. I will write change as the keyword here. Change which column? I want to change the phone number to contact number and a semicolon. That means if I want to change a specific column's name to some other name, I will write the keyword alter. What do I want to alter? Table. What is the name of that particular table? What alteration do I want to do? I want to change the column name. I will write the change keyword, the column name which has to be changed, and the new name which will be there after the change. Example of this is alter table. Which table I want to alter? The employee table. What alteration I want? I want to change the column name. Which column name do I want to change? The phone number. What new name do I want to give it? Contact number, and I end it with a semicolon. So I write alter table employee, change phone number to contact number. Another example of an alter command is, for example, if I want to drop an entire column of the particular table. So I will write alter table name. What do I want to do now? I want to drop a particular column. I will write drop column name. Now the difference between the drop command and alter command over here is that why did I not use the drop command directly? Because the drop command is used to drop the entire table or the entire database. But when I want to delete a specific column, for that I will use the alter command. So I say alter keyword. What do I want to do? What do I want to alter? The table. What is the name of that table? I will give over here. What alteration I want? I want to drop a specific column, and then I give the name of that column. Say for example, this was the syntax. Now we'll see the example. I say alter table employee. Alter table employee, drop. What I want to drop? The employee name and end it with a semicolon. Now for example, from the employee table I want to delete the employee name record or the employee name column. What will I do? I will say alter the table, which is employee. What alteration I want? I want to drop the employee name from the employee table. So these were the uses of the alter command. This is how we can alter the database objects using the alter command. Now if you want to see whether the changes that you've made over using the alter command have actually been made or not, so what will you do? You will use the describe command. Describe table employee. Now up till now, whatever changes we have done to the employee table. I want to see whether these changes have actually been done or not. I will write describe is the keyword. I will write what do I want to describe? Table. What is the name of that table? Employee. So whatever changes up till now I have done in the employee table will be shown in the form of a table or in a tabular form. Next command is the rename command. When you want to rename the database objects, what you use is the rename command. Say for example, I want to change the table name. Previously I had created the table employee with the name employee, EMPLOYEE. Now I want to change it to the name EMP. What will I do? I will do rename. The syntax, first of all, we will see. The syntax is rename table, old table name, and the new table name. So, what do I want to do? I want to rename. What I want to rename? Table. What is the name of that table? I will mention here. Then, what is the old name that I want to change? This. What is the new name after changing? Is here. So, the example we will see is rename table. Rename table. The name of the table is employee. What new name I want to give? EMP ended with a semicolon. So the syntax is rename table, the table name and the new table name. Rename is the keyword. What I want to rename? Table. What is the name of that table? Here I'll write, and what will be the new table name? Here I'll write. So example of that is rename table employee to EMP. So the employee table will now be changed as EMP. The name of the table will change as EMP. The contents will remain same. Next is the truncate command. This is the last command of the DDL statements. The truncate command. Truncate command is used to permanently delete the rows of a database. Now you can say, what is the difference between the drop or truncate command? The difference is that using the delete or drop command, the changes are not permanent. If you want to restore the changes, you can do that. It's just like the delete command is like the recycle bin. When I delete something from my file, that is stored in the recycle bin, so that those changes are not permanent. I can always restore them back to their original files. But the truncate command, once I have deleted a particular column, once I have deleted a particular row, in that case the changes are permanent. I cannot restore them. For example, if I say uh, in a table, a row represents an instance. When I am deleting a particular row, I am deleting that entire instance. So I say truncate. The syntax is truncate table, and I give table name ended with a semicolon. So this is the syntax of the truncate command. I give the keyword truncate. What do I want to truncate? The table. And what is the name of the table? So an example here is truncate employee. Now I have changed the table name to emp. Employee, sorry, I will write truncate table, and then what is the name of the table? emp, because I've changed from employee to emp. So the example is that if I want to completely delete the table, permanently delete the table emp, I will say truncate. Truncate is the keyword. What do I want to truncate the table? What is the name? emp. So these were the DDL commands.